What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. I think everyone knows if you either played Dragon Age the Veilguard or you watched footage from Dragon Age the Veilguard, any amount of it really, that the reason Dragon Age the Veilguard failed is not the fans, it's not grifters on YouTube, it's solely because of the game director Corinne Bush, pun intended, and their insertion, giggity phrasing, ew, of trans ideology in almost every facet of the goddamn game. It's, of course, Tosh coming out as non-binary and a bunch of awkward conversations, which has led to some pretty entertaining videos. And, of course, fan favorite Isabella from the previous games explaining what pulling a barv is. And then, of course, the neutering of every single faction in the game. You can't really be mean to people. It is a childlike game in its simplicity and its execution. Then, of course, it is filled with ideology, all the vitiligo and trans zipper tit scars you could ask for. But of course, rather than acknowledge it, well, because they can't acknowledge biological reality, so why would they acknowledge basic reality that that's the reasons that the game failed? No. Now these people, what do you mean these people? You know what I mean. They have to cope and seethe and blame us. And ironically enough, we've got David Jaffe, the God of War director here. And he also did some Twisted Metal, blaming, of course, those pesky YouTube grifters for killing Dragon Age the Veilguard and widely comparing it, the inclusion of gender ideology to race, specifically being black. Isn't that nice? So okay, here we go. Let's see what this punk ass has to say. He says, when you say the gaming community ruined this game's success, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I think there is a lot of truth to it. Well, hey, at least he admitted partially that it's not entirely us horrible grifters' fault. By the way, grifting in actuality is when you talk about things that you don't really believe in or you don't think, and you just do it for the clicks. And just based on some of my view counts lately, that's clearly not what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I actually believe all this shit, which I don't know if he could say the same about himself. He says, really, at this point, all that the gaming community that you're talking about has done is that they've made it so they've actually made games worse, which is what they say they're trying not to do. Yeah, it's our fault for making the games are all worse. It's not the studios who have become increasingly insane and corrupted by the woke mind virus, who increasingly try to capitulate to ESG scores and DEI initiatives, and then say so in their goddamn websites. It's not their fault. It's our fault. Because they have the charismatic grifters, Hypnotic and Smash JT. Are they talking about you? Because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos that, for whatever reason, people respond to, because those videos are highlighting a problem that you guys have created and we are all sharing. And so when we, who are a vocal mouthpiece for the audience, share the collected frustration of all of us for dealing with this dumb shit, that's why people respond to it. We are the audience. You guys keep calling racist and sexist and homophobic instead of listening to what we're actually saying. People who haven't played this game will hate it just because they're sort of told to hate it. Right, but then when they go play it, they hate it. That's the thing. Anyone that actually played the game or watched the game for any significant amount of time can see it's not a Dragon Age game. It's not even a good, like, rip-off of a good game, because apparently it ripped off your game, David. Just a God of War clone. And so what does EA do next time they don't make Stellar Blade? They don't make Stellar Blade, the game that we all responded positively to and were extolling the virtues of, and had a fucking a petition that almost hit 1 million. Anyway, whatever. They just continue to sort of, vanilla the fuck out of everything they work on and make sure that no one's going to have anything to complain about. Right. So the by the way, it was already becoming generic and vanilla before that. And then, of course, the DEI took over and you started making it generic and vanilla and fucking woke, because if you took away all the DEI shit in Dragon Age the Veilguard, it's just a vanilla ass game where you can't be mean. You will have no real effect over anything. It's the worst. He said they straight up ask if you want Jaffe then addressed the major backlash to the game pushing transgender ideology. He said they straight up ask if you want transgender game options 1 hour in. You select a yes or no. So all the people bitching invited into their game. Bitch ass Nutella. You shouldn't have transgender options in a fantasy game at all. At all. Just like you shouldn't have pronoun games. And if that is a modern concept that does not exist in fantasy, Then referencing the character of Tash, he says, I don't even know what it asked, but this character apparently is the Barv trans character, and so far there's nothing. To me, that's the equivalent of saying, do you want black people in your game? We have a button that'll get the blacks out. That's no. Trans and black people are not the same thing. First of all, one of them is 100% real and not a mental condition. They actually have melanin in their skin. It's a very real, quantifiable thing. There's no gender dysmorphia, body dysmorphia that makes them feel like they have that skin color. They're real and they're persons. So this fucking retarded argument. Trans, on the other hand, could be a bevy of different things, from just pure, I mean, it's all a variation of mental illness. The question is, how aware are they? Because it's either an autogynephilia and you're a sick fuck that needs to be kept away from everyone, or you've got some weird variation of a gender or body dysmorphia, and that needs to be dealt with. But that doesn't mean we need to change laws and give up women's spaces so you can feel comfortable and not end up that 42% or whatever the fucking disgusting rate is you guys have, that even when you transition doesn't get any lower. In fact, it gets higher. Oopsie. So yeah, this just shows you the type of ideological capture that they think trans and black people are the same. Well, I'm sorry, trans people, no 40 acres and a mule for you. And you can see here, no one is even playing the game here. Let me hit refresh. They never hit above 90,000. And even today on Thanksgiving, of which no one will be giving thanks for this game, they don't even have 15,000 people playing it. But right now, there are games 10 years old that have more people in it. So oof, oof, oof. But of course, this is all just the grifters' fault, right? No. Anyway, you let me know what you think about all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And go fuck yourself, David.
Well, bye.